Gorbachev ignored his prime minister. He sent a group of radical economists to one of the state dachas near Moscow and told them to develop the Yeltsin blueprint into a plan for action.
Gorbachev was on vacation in Crimea, in Yalta. He called me about 5 times a day, asking, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? I tried to calm him down. I said, we're working. Everything's going fine.
A month later, the economists working on the Gorbachev-Yeltsin plan awaited a visit from the rival government team of Prime Minister Ryzhkov.
The conversation got off on the wrong foot. They wouldn't show us anything. At least not until Gorbachev returned.
My group did nothing to obstruct government policies or the program. Whereas the government, to put it mildly, did its best to undermine our work. We noted in our plan which ministries refused to help. Sovmin, Gosplan, Minfin, and so on.
We said, well, we'll have to comply with the instructions of the Supreme Soviet to submit our proposal on September 1st. You have your own objectives, so get on and do it. Do whatever the president has told you to do. We disagree with most of your proposals. They would lead to the breakup of the Soviet Union. So we said, you stick to your guns, we'll stick to ours. And with that, we parted company.
Gorbachev cut short his vacation and flew back here to meet with the entire group. The meeting went on for about 7 hours, and in the evening I handed the plan over to him. He had obviously studied the documents through the night, and the next morning he asked very competent questions.
Gorbachev and I sat down together, just the two of us, for over 5 hours discussing the text. I looked over his notes, and some of the amendments he believed needed to be made. Basically, he turned it into his own program.
In taking on these radical ideas, Gorbachev was supping with the devil, Boris Yeltsin, who just 6 weeks before had turned his back on the party. At the end of August, for the first time in 3 years, they met for talks.
We regret that such a meeting has been so long in coming. But we're both to blame.
You've been at it for 3 hours.
And that hasn't been enough.
I should say that political and personal conflicts have not prevented us from frank discussions of all the issues.
The two of us genuinely worked together with the economists. And he said, don't worry, I will support that program to the end.
Gorbachev said, you know what? It was easier for me to talk to Yeltsin than it is to talk to many of my own officials.
I don't know whether he sincerely believed in the Stalin program or whether that was a political move on his part. Sometimes Gorbachev gets carried away and enthusiastic about an idea. But I never tried to conceal my own views on the plan. I said from the very beginning that I couldn't accept it. That if it was a matter of putting that program into practice, then he would have to find someone else. I would resign.
I said it was suicide
for the government to torpedo this plan. Ryzhkov was very angry at me. And he came right back at me.
The clash between President Gorbachev and Prime Minister Ryzhkov spilled onto the streets. For radicals, this was the moment of highest hope. Gorbachev seemed finally to have committed himself to dismantling the old system. But Ryzhkov and his government, for all their unpopularity, refused to back down.
I asked my opponents how much prices will rise by January 1st. They said, God knows. I said, how can we propose such increases when only God knows and we don't? We can't mislead the people.
The deadline to begin the 500-day plan came and went. Nothing happened.
Later, Gorbachev was accused of giving in to me. They said I had twisted his arm. I won't deny that I was defending the interests of the government, of the plan I believed in.
Ryzhkov's victory was dressed up as a compromise. The months of arguments had done nothing to fill the shops, and radical solutions had been shelved once again. Officially, a market economy remained the goal, but now the rush to get there was over. Yeltsin felt betrayed. He accused Gorbachev of being an old-fashioned centrist.
We don't need a center like this. We need a new one, like this. Within these limits, we'll listen. But if Moscow issues decrees in these areas, they won't work, because the republics haven't delegated those powers to the center. So we need a center like this, a nice little one.